So we are back today with another episode of Throwback Street. Last episode of Throwback Street, we made That's So Raven, aka Raven Baxter, in Cass in The Sims 4. And then this episode, we will be making her tiny home. Basically, if you're just joining us, Throwback Street is essentially 6 tiny homes on one lot, all inspired by different Disney Channel and Nickelodeon characters. Previously, we've made Hannah Montana, and then this episode, obviously that's the Raven, and then next episode, we'll probably do either Lizzie McGuire, Zoe 101, or Wizards of Waverly Place. I'll give you a quick preview of what we've done so far, so let's jump right in. So this is Throwback Street. It's looking a little bit naked right now, but we've only done 1 out of 6 tiny homes, so this lot eventually will be completely full. We're gonna do an entire episode dedicated to this communal space in the middle, but basically these brown terrain spots are where the tiny homes are gonna go. I don't know where we should build Raven's home because I'm looking at reference pictures right now, and actually the house looks pretty big. So even though we're gonna be doing a tiny home-ish version of it, she lives in San Francisco, so I know San Francisco is quite known for hills, so I am actually very tempted to do one of the lots up here. You know what? We're gonna do it on this lot right in the front here. If I'm looking at where the access is for the house, it's kind of from the side here would be perfect, and then you come up the stairs. We'll probably have a little the garage door here, and then the circular part here. So we might even have to move these over a little bit, but of course we can move everything as we go along. So yeah, that is what we're gonna go with. But let me just show you Hannah's house, or Hannah's bungalow. So this is her Malibu home, inspired by, I think it's the one in season 1, but it's obviously a smaller version of it. I added a few details since last episode, nothing major. I just added a few palm trees out the front. This is the access coming up here, and then let me show you what inside it looks like. So everything's kind of squeezed into a smaller space, but basically we have the music area out the back here, the lounge on the left, which I love. I think it looks very cozy. And then we have the kitchen here, and then upstairs we have her bedroom with the wardrobe. And now let me show you That's a Raven. So this is Raven Baxter. We made her last episode in Cast. Go and check that out. We did 4 or 5 different looks for her, I think, inspired by real outfits. So let me get started with the shell. I think that's probably gonna take me a little bit of time to establish the stairs, the garage, all of that stuff, but I will be right back. Guys, this is so hard. This is so much harder than I thought. So I have so many reference pictures, which is amazing because it's a house that's used in a lot of different TV shows and movies, not just Raven. But it's such an interesting, weird shape, and it's also an apartment. So, or not an apartment, townhouse, I guess. It just is looking kind of like a weird, awkward shaped mansion at the moment, which is definitely not the vibe we were going for. So I think what is gonna help is if I start to roof. I'm getting myself really confused. Okay, that I think will do. So we need a circular roof piece up on here. Do we do an octagon or do we do circle? What do the pictures look like? I think the pictures look circular. So let's do circular and stretch it out. Do we have an overhang? We do a little bit. There you go. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll deal with the curves and everything a little bit later because actually I think it's a little bit more like this. This is gonna be an entire episode just on roofing, I think. It's definitely not gonna be easy. Okay, then we can do a large roof piece over here, which is nice and pointy. Let's bring it out the entire width, maybe bring it down a little bit. And then I can do a few tiny roof pieces on all of these little bump out. Okay, now let's see how this looks. Drag that in. It's not really an interesting roof shape like this picture makes it look like, but I really don't want to make this a huge house, and it's turning out to be huge. Okay, so 15 minutes later, this is what we have finally come up with. It's definitely far from perfect. It's so complicated to do. I'm counting just from this one picture alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different roof pieces. And then this weird arch thing at the entrance, which we obviously aren't able to get fully accurate, so we've just gone with a roof piece again. It will do. I think it's gonna have to do. I've added in some wallpapers. We've gone with this custom content one from the Plum Bob Tea Society just to create this kind of slightly more worn down look at the bottom. And then we have this base game clapboard crush on the main structure. So let's go and do some roofing. So I want to do, actually, you know what? The roofing pieces are like these. They're exactly like these. We could go in with a slightly darker one, but honestly, these are the roof pieces. So I think I'm gonna leave them like that for now. We wanna do I think it looks like a white border maybe. Like a whitish trim, fairly thick looking actually. Yeah, I think something like this is good. Let's do this. Oh, it clips. It clips. This is just like the weirdest house I've ever built. But I think that is problem solved. I don't even know what to do about this roof piece. Like, does it look better without it? This is already feeling like a type of build that I'm gonna hate in the morning. That I will look at it and I will just think, oh my goodness, how embarrassing that I have filmed this for YouTube. So this might not even end up online, but I'm gonna go with it anyway because it might turn out okay. So I'm not feeling these poles. I'm gonna have to delete these. I'm thinking we do need some pillars of some sort though. But before we do that, let's get a concrete fencing for the top here. So here's a little update on what I've been working on. I added a red door, red arches to the entranceway. Kind of looks like they have red columns. I'm not too sure. It's supposed to be a rounded arch, but I can't get that with short wall height, which is all I'm prepared to do and commit myself to. So now let's go in and add some windows all around. It looks like a very windowy house and the windows look fairly traditional. They are just split in half, kind of like this, but I want a bigger window, a little bit thicker. Okay, I've changed things again. I feel like this video is just me changing things off camera and then coming back every 20 minutes to show you what I've changed. I think we'll be changing this build a lot of times, to be honest. I'm feeling fairly indecisive over the direction I want to go in because it's huge. This is not a tiny home. It is slowly starting to look a little better, more like the reference pictures. I think we're gonna go with this in terms of windows, layout. I've just made this smaller. This whole thing here is smaller. So I think we're gonna stick to it. I think I'm gonna have to at some point draw a line underneath what I'm doing and settle. Okay, it's coming together. I'm kind of happy in the direction that it's going in now. I want to try something with the roof piece now, and then we can move on to the kind of road signs, and I'll go in through debug and find things. But I think it would be nice to do a roof piece here. Yes, that's exactly what I needed. Oh, I don't know why that took me so long to figure out, but much better. And then here we can just do a form of concrete, and I was worried that it would need to match the roof piece, but nope, all good. We can just let's just do something with texture. There you go. Something with texture, maybe a little bit lighter than that actually. And now let's go through debug. And then obviously terrain paint and all of that, and lighting and details. Okay, so I've just gone and pulled a bunch of things from debug to give it more of that city feeling. I went with a lot of road signs. We put a car here, not quite the car in the picture, but similar. Kind of drew out a lay of the land with the terrain paint. And I'm happy with how it's looking from this side. Maybe I'll do this diagonal actually. We'll go through and edit it in the next episode. But I don't know what to do with everything behind here. So I've put this, I don't know if this is supposed to be a phone line or something, and I put the construction stuff, but this is technically kind of their private garden, which we only mapped out with the fencing, so we can obviously change it. I think the shape of it is definitely weird, but it definitely gives me that Sir Raven vibes. So it's coming along slowly but surely. We need to finish up with more details. There's a lot of plants and plant pots that I see kind of around this area. We'll obviously do the entire back garden next episode as well. Figure out what exactly we want to do with this fencing here, because I only really did it in the first episode so it could help me kind of map out the different areas. But if it doesn't look good, then we can just delete them and rely on terrain paint. So we can figure that out next episode. But I think we're gonna wrap that up here. Thank you so much for watching, tuning into Throwback Street. We have a long way to go still for That's a Raven, but it's bigger than I was planning on it being, but yeah, should be fun. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.